Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube segment, I'm going to be giving you my pick and analysis for the 2020 Week 5 XFL matchup between the New York Guardians and the Dallas Renegades. Now, I'm going to be giving you my preview for this game, and I like Dallas this one in a close game, and I'll explain why. Let's look at some of the numbers first. So, the New York Guardians and Dallas Renegades, they're both 2-2. Guardians are 0-2 on the road this season, but the Dallas Renegades, they are 0-2 at home. You look at the Guardians right now, I mean, their offense has just been abysmal. They won last week 17-14, but they only had like 3 points in the second half. They've only scored like 2 touchdowns over the last 3 games. They won that game last week, but that game could have gone either way. They blocked a field goal attempt. And the thing about it, and if that field goal attempt is not blocked, you could be looking at a tie game, and then the game going into overtime, of course, and then the game, of course, could go either way. So the thing about this is you're looking at these teams right now. You have the Dallas Renegades somewhat debilitated. They lost their quarterback, Landry Jones, going to be injured for 2 weeks. And that could play obviously a role in the outcome of this game. That's part of the reason I like Dallas. Well, in a tight one, despite the New York Guardians' struggles, that win last week, we're going to find out in this game whether or not that's going to propel them the rest of the way, whether they're going to be motivated by that, and whether that just kind of boosts them for the rest of the season, or whether that was just like one of those fluke aberration games. And if they're going to just plummet to earth and they're going to wind up playing, having a bad game in this one, I don't think they're going to play poorly in this game. The New York Guardians, I believe, last week, I think they found a little bit of a formula for their success, and whether they can continue it or not may be another story. They seem to be a run dominant team, and they won that game last week against Los Angeles, largely due to having a very conservative style type of game and game plan. They seemed like there was a lot of short dumb passes. By quarterback Luis Perez, and they had a very strong running attack. Running back, you're talking about the running back Darius Victor. He had a very solid performance in that game. And the thing about this, though, is that Dallas, I like them largely because their offense is, I think, is going to be the difference in this game. I like their offense, even with a backup quarterback, a little bit better than the Guardians' defense. Yes, the Guardians only surrendered 14 points last week, but they did give up a lot of big plays. They gave up 310 passing yards last week. The pass defense looked deplorable. It was just the fact that Los Angeles was not able to capitalize on opportunities when they had to, whether it would be a missed field goal or maybe an incomplete pass, or when they were deep in the Guardians' territory, or there are penalties may have killed them, or the quarterback got sacked at a critical juncture. It was just these things that enable the Guardians to win. And the thing about you're looking at this Dallas team, I think it's just going to be really the passing attack again is going to dominate that secondary of the Guardians. Wide receiver Jeff Badet, I expect him to have a very good game against the Guardians secondary in this one. Now, last week, Guardians cornerback Jamar Summers, he had played very well. He had an interception last week, returned it for 16 yards. But the defense, for the Guardians to have a chance in this game, that secondary is going to have to really show up and intensify their play, and I don't know if they can do it in this game. Now, Dallas lost last week 27-20, despite three first half interceptions by Landry Jones, who of course again is injured. And I think the fact you're going to have the second string quarterback in is going to make a little bit of a difference. But when I just look at the offense just in general for Dallas compared to the defense of Guardians, I think again that will be really a very strong deciding factor in this game. Dallas is averaging 19.5 points per game. The Guardians are averaging 12.2. The offense is still better for Dallas than the Guardians. The defense, as far as points allowed per game, about the same. Guardians 18.2 points allowed per game. Dallas 18. The defense and points allowed is dead even. The offense is still better for Dallas than it is for the Guardians. And you look at the Guardians coming into this game again, they could have easily had lost 3 consecutive games going into this game. And again, it's not to take anything away from the Guardians last week, but part of the reason they won was because of the ineptitude of the Los Angeles team they played. And I think, and then they they just barely won that game. And the Los Angeles team, they wound up, they were 1-3 following that game. And the Guardians could have very easily been 1-3 going into this game on the road, and of course the Guardians are 0-2 on the road. So, and anyway, it's really and also too, the Dallas Renegades are number 3 in run defense, so I think they're gonna likely contain the running attack of the Guardians. I don't think the Guardians are going to be able to do as well running the ball as they did in the previous week. So, anyway. People. But anyway, I'm going to take Dallas again in a close one in this game. Like 20-30. I'm thinking they're going to win. Something like that. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this XFL prediction segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.